Hello everybody, this is Refresh and I'm here to do a second deck opening and pack build for Corset 2020, so let's get busy opening some packs. Alright, we have a Reduced to Ashes, Moment of Heroism, Negate, Audacious Thief, Wolfkin Bond, Tectonic Rift, Winged Words, Mind Rot, Sedge Scorpion, Zephyr Charge, Pulse of Marasa, Chandra Novice Pyromancer, Barkhide Troll, Dungeon Geists, Island, and Zombie Token. Now we have an Angelic Gift, Healer of the Glade, Epicure of Blood, Yoked Ox, Fairy Miscreant, Vial of Dragonfire, Rabid Bite, Reduce to Ashes, Unsummon, Greenwood Sentinel, God's Willing, Portal of Sanctuary, Chandra's Spitfire, Nightpack Ambusher, and a Forest and a Demon Token. Then we have a Fathom Fleet Cutthroat, a Glaring Aegis, a Disenchant, Mind Rot, Vorst Claw, Shock, Moat Piranhas, Griffin Protector, Gift of Paradise, Keldon Raider, Yarok's Fenlurker, Moldervine Reclamation, Woodland Champion, Drawn from Dreams, Mountain, and a Zombie Token. Then we have a Moat Piranhas, Act of Treason, Squad Captain, Duress, Wolfkin Bond, Yoked Ox, Daggersail Aeronaut, Anvilrot Raptor, Silverback Shaman, Gorging Vulture, Gravedigger, Moldervine Reclamation, Retributive Wand, Brought Back, Evolving Wilds, and a Wolf Token. We have a Befuddle, Bladebrand, Inspiring Captain, Feral Abomination, Murder, Pacifism, Ferocious Pup, Destructive Digger, Winged Words, Thicket Crasher, Diamond Knight, Yarok's Fenlurker, Unchained Berserker, Temple of Triumph, an Island and an Elemental Token. Our final pack includes a Reckless Airstrike, Raise the Alarm, Negate, Feral Abomination, Ferocious Pup, Tectonic Rift, Sedge Scorpion, Vial of Dragonfire, Zephyr Charge, Leafkin Druid, Ogre Siegebreaker, Brineborn Cutthroat, another Moldervine Reclamation, Cavalier of Thorns, Rugged Highland, and a Golem token. Alright, let's take a look at our colors here. We also should remember that we have 3 Moldervine Reclamations in this sealed pool. So in white we have Raise Alarm, which is a pretty good spell, Pacifism, which is decent removal, Inspiring Captain, which can work if you're playing aggressive, Brought Back is a limited value card, I suppose, because it's almost a 2-for-1 if you can save 2 of your creatures, but you have to trade them, I suppose, for value. I don't know. It's a maybe. Yoked Ox is not going to get played. Squad Captain, I suppose, is okay if you have a go-wide strategy, but it's not an ideal card either. Griffin Protector can be pretty good in an aggressive deck. Works very well with Raise the Alarm. Disenchant is not going to get played. Glaring Aegis is only good in an aggressive deck. God's Willing is a pretty good trick and counter removal spell and such. I like it a lot. We have a Yoked Ox again, which we're definitely not playing. Angelic Gift is only sometimes good in the correct deck. So we will put this back here. Moment of Heroism is a combat trick. Sometimes you want this kind of card, but oftentimes it won't make the pass. White is not great. We have some decent cards here within the first 4 cards here, Pacifism, Griffin Protector, God's Willing, and Raise the Alarm, but nothing here is screaming that we have to play white. Let's take a look at blue. We have Brineborn Cutthroat, which is a pretty good blue card, especially if you're playing instant speed spells on your opponent's turn. Zephyr Charge is pretty limited in terms of its usefulness. I suppose if you have a lot of things to send in through the air, then maybe it's good. Negate is a sideboard card. Winged Words can be decent in terms of just being card draw. Befuddle can be okay in the right deck, especially if you want spells. Moat Piranhas is a decent defensive card, something that I might play in a more defensive deck. Drawn from Dreams gets you a look at 7 cards and then draws you 2, and that's not bad for 4 mana, so that's something that I would probably play. We have another Moat Piranhas. The Portal of Sanctuary works really well if you have cards that give enter the battlefield benefits. or leaves the battlefield benefits, as it were. Don't know if we have anything that is good enough to be playing with this, so we'll put this in the back for now. Unsummon is decent tempo. Fairy Miscreant is bad all by itself. If you have a lot of them, it's great, but by itself, you're not playing it. Or at least I'm not playing it. Dungeon Geist is good removal on a body. I like it. It's a high reason to play blue. Zephyr Charge is just okay, as mentioned before. Winged Words is just okay. Negate is strictly sideboard. And I think that blue is slightly stronger than white because of just Dungeon Geists. Everything else here is just okay. Nothing that is screaming that it is a color that we should be playing. And so it may be a secondary color, but with Dungeon Geist, it kind of wants to be a primary color. And so I don't know if we're going to be playing this. Alright, black, and we should remember when we're looking at black and red that we have the Ogre Siegebreaker here. Black has a Feral Abomination, which is a card that I don't want to play if I can help it. Yarok's Fenlurker is fairly okay in that it nabs a card from your opponent's hand as it enters the battlefield, so it's kind of a 2-for-1 on a body that can grow bigger. It's not an amazing card, but it's something that I would consider playing. Murder is premium removal. We love it. We love to see it. And Feral Abomination, again, just okay. Blade Brand is an okay trick, not that great. I like Gravedigger a lot. It gets a card back from the graveyard. Gorging Vulture is pretty good too, if you have the right deck. Duress is purely sideboard. Another Yarok's Fenlurker. Mind Rot is not a great card, but we might play it. Fathom Fleet Cutthroat is an okay way of killing a creature if you are playing particularly aggressively, and sometimes that makes the deck. Epicure of Blood can be good if you have some life gain synergy going. This is not the deck right now that has much in the way of life gain, so we're not very interested in that. And then we have the Mind Rod and Audacious Thief, which I do like because it can give you some serious card advantage if you can get it in. So what do we have here? We have great removal, we have some recursion, we have some decent cards here. I think black is a pretty strong color. Not great enough to be the main color, but it is strong enough to be a choice here. Alright, with red we have Tectonic Rift, only good in a very aggressive deck. Reckless Airstrike is strictly sideboard. Unchained Berserker can be good if you are playing a very aggressive deck, so it's something to keep in mind. Destructive Digger is okay, late game it can draw you cards. The Aeronaut is not bad because it can get in damage. The Act of Treason, sometimes you'll play this because you need a way to win the game, and that'll sometimes remove one of your opponent's blockers and give you the damage you need to win. I like Keldon Raider decently as a card that gets you some looting when you get to the late game to get rid of dead lands or stuff in your hand. Shock is removal spell. Chandra Spitfire only really works in decks that are able to deal non-combat damage to your opponent, and this is not that deck because we have one Shock and one Chandra Novice Pyromancer. Reduced to Ashes is removal. I would play it. It's not the best removal, but I play it. Chandra Novice Pyromancer is shocks plus potential mana bursting plus giving your elementals boosting. The top thing isn't going to matter that much unless you have a lot of elementals, and this is not that deck right now. But the bottom two abilities are pretty good, especially the last ability to deal 2 damage to any target. So this is a reason to be playing red. And we have Tectonic Rift again, not playing that. And that is red. So red seems okay. And if we add the Ogre Siegebreaker, then we have a okay body in terms of 4 mana that can potentially kill multiple creatures. But this is probably one of the weaker gold cards, so I don't love this card. And red is just okay. It's probably slightly weaker than black overall in terms of its total cards. Finally, we have green. Let's take a look. We have Cavalier of Thorns, which is a very powerful card. It can get you some land selection from your deck, and then when you die, you can take a card from your graveyard and put it back onto your library. For 5 mana, you get a 5/6 with reach. It's a pretty strong card. Leafkin Druid is ramp. I like it. Sedge Scorpion is an okay card. Sometimes you need those in your deck. Ferocious Pup works really well if you need to have additional bodies and or things to sacrifice. And so it is not the worst thing in the world. I like it slightly better than Sedge Scorpion. The Thicket Crasher is an okay card as well. We have more Ferocious Pups. Silverback Shaman it's almost 2 cards for 1, and it is pretty strong as a beater, so I like it a lot. Wolfkin Bond is just okay. Woodland Champion works really well with token creators, and what we have here are 2 Ferocious Pups, and so as a 2-drop, it's pretty decent here. Gift of Paradise can let you fix or ramp, and I think that's okay, but I don't know if I'd play that right away. Force Claw, sometimes you need a generic 7/7, and we might play this if we needed it. Night Pack Ambusher is a bomb. We will always play that, which means that green is locked in to get played. We also have a Greenwood Sentinel, which is pretty low on the list of things to play. Rabid Bite, which is removal. I like that. Healer of the Glade, which is pretty weak. It's an elemental, but it's not really doing much for us, so we're probably not playing that. Barkhide Troll is pretty good. It's a 2-mana 3/3, and it can give itself some protection, so I like that a lot. The Pulse of Marasa is a way to get a card back from your graveyard to your hand, but I don't think we're normally going to be playing this card. Another Sedge Scorpion and another Wolfkin Bond. Plus, in green, we have 3 Moldavine Reclamations. I don't think I'd play 3 of these because that's just madness, but I'd probably play 2 of them. And so this is definitely something to consider. And then outside of that, we have Evolving Wilds, which we can use to help fix. We don't really need fixing a lot, but sometimes it works in a 2-color deck, especially if you're playing a slower one like this one. Vial Dragonfire is removal, but it's very slow and it gives itself away really easily. I don't really like this much. Diamond Knight can be good if you're heavily in one color, and that's something that we need to do some counting. Retributive one, I don't really like. It might come in on the sideboard if my opponent has a lot of X1s. Anvil Rot Raptor, very weak. Don't think I'd play this either in terms of what it's doing. And then we have another one of these Vial Dragonfires. So the most likely card to get played out of the artifacts is the Diamond Knight. Alright, so I think the plan is to build the black and green deck. It seems to be the strongest, especially considering we have these Moldavine Reclamations, and green is pretty much a shoe-in right now. The other options are red and green and blue and green. We do have some fixing for red and green, so that's something to consider as well. And we might splash if there's something strong enough to be worth splashing. Let's go ahead and lay out a black and green deck. So we don't have much in the way of non-creature spells, but I think that there is enough here to get started. We have 30 cards already on the table, not counting the Evolving Wilds, and I think that's enough to start making some judicious cuts and getting to something resembling a real deck here. So we're going to probably cut both of the Mind Rots, just because I don't think that they're that strong. And then that takes us to 28 cards, so we need to cut 5 more cards here. Cut one of the Feral Abominations. I don't think they're that good either. We'll cut the Greenwood Sentinel. It's not doing much in this deck. We'll cut one of the Moldavine Reclamations because this is just too many cards that don't really do anything right away. So then we just need to cut 2 more cards here. I think we might cut this other Feral Abomination. I think the Epicure combos well with the Moldavines, so we kind of do want to keep that. I guess I can cut 1 Sedge Scorpion. They're not doing a ton in this deck. And then let this be the deck. In terms of mana, we have 12 black symbols and 18 green symbols, so we do want to be slightly heavier in green. We're also going to be playing the Evolving Wilds simply because we have a lot of these 2 mana symbols on a lot of these spells, and we want to be able to make sure that we get the right land when we need it. We don't have so many cards in one color that we're going to want to play the Diamond Knight, so it's out. I don't think anything else in the artifacts stack is really what we're looking to do here. So we're not going to be playing any artifacts as well. So we're going to want, even though we have a bit more green than black, I think we're going to want an even split because of all these 2 2s. And so we're going to do 8 and 8 with the Evolving Wilds to get us to where we need to be. We have 8 swamps, 8 forests, and this will be the deck. Let me know what your thoughts were about the card pool that I opened and the kind of deck that you would build. If you would have done anything different, please let me know in the comments below. If you found this video helpful or enjoyable, hit the like button. If you'd like to see more of my videos, you can hit subscribe. Next, I'll be pitting this Golgari deck against its sibling Golgari deck to show off some M20 sealed deck gameplay. Until then, this was Refresh. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.